All right, got a couple new additions to the fleet. One temporary, one probably closer to permanent. This one here, it's a 2007 BMW X5 3.0 SI that I got from a repo auction for $2,700 all in. That's fees, buyer fees, and everything. It is, as you can see, it's a little rough. Kidneys missing here, but straight. Biggest issue, as you can see, it's kind of the airbag suspension is just completely blown out. When I drove this thing back from where it got dropped off for me, it was rough ride. But kind of good news, bad news is I ordered up a set of strut masters. Looks like those are going to be a couple hours worth of work to install max. $300 delivered, and that should resolve that problem. Everything else with this car is good. It was showing no other warning lights. The coolant looked good, no smoke. The interior here is really nice. Third row seat. It's got WeatherTech floor mats. Oh, there's the BMW emblem for the back. So it looks like that came off, but lo and behold, as I'm going through it here for the first time with y'all, looks like it's sitting right there. So we'll just get that put back on. And the car itself is, like I said, a very clean. We got the grill surrounds are sitting up here, so I don't know why they're out, and I don't know there's an issue going to be, or what issues I'm going to run into trying to get these back in, but they're here. WeatherTech's here. The car does not come with any manuals or anything, but you know, it looks like a relatively clean rig. Like I said, when I drove it back, there was, you know, the only thing I noticed was the suspension. Everything else worked as it should. It's clean, reasonably clean anyway. And when I searched online, it looks like this thing sold for about 10 grand less than 2 years ago. And they've only put about 4,000 miles on it since. It's got 97,000 miles on it. So we're going to get this thing cleaned up, and it is going to be my daughter's birthday present. So I think, you know, she's done really well on her grades this semester. She's kind of pushed herself a little bit. She's into sports. She's doing what she needs to be doing. And this will be a mighty nice car for her. Now for Dad, I managed to pick this baby up right here. Same auction. This is a 2005 CLK55 AMG. This one delivered with $7,500 all in, with 90,000 miles on it. And the reason it went so cheap is it ended up, it's throwing a ABC suspension code. And for those of you that know Mercedes, like many of you do, ABC suspension is not something to be trifled with. And so, you know, I think it scared a lot of folks off, let alone the car itself. You know, these cars are a little bit pricey to keep maintained. But that ABC suspension light threw a lot of folks off, but they didn't look close enough. So if you look down here, see, that's not ABC suspension anymore. That's yellow racing. And if you look up in the front, which I'll show you here in a second, you'll see they're not an ABC suspension anymore either. They're yellow racing. So this is the interior of the car. You can see 90,000 miles. It's got a nice head unit here, Kenwood. Stereo rocks in this thing. It's really nice. Really comfortable car. But, you know, it pays to know your Mercedes and your aftermarket stuff. So, well, it was throwing an ABC light, and folks legitimately would get spooked. over an ABC light. It really doesn't have an ABC issue at all. Let me you can see it's clean. Don't even smell any oil leaks. Oh, you can see yellow racing. So folks missed out on a really nice car because the hard stuff's already been done. And I think it's still running a tandem pump. So when that goes, we'll replace with just a standard power steering pump. But the worst of this has been dealt with. And it's got the nice AMG. Looks like Forum somebody or other put this baby together. So again, just I really was not in the market for, nor did I need another car by any stretch of the imagination, as you can kind of see in the driveway. But this was, you know, I was looking for that one, and when this one came up for, it was $7,100 plus buyer's fee, plus I had it shipped up from Seattle, so you know, it ended up about $7,600. Hard to beat. So that's the tale of two cars. I'll keep you guys posted. I'm gonna be getting this one cleaned up and try to figure out whether this one stays in the stable or whether I trade it out. This one, like I said, I'm going to spend a little bit of time over the next couple weeks working through some of the issues here, getting it cleaned up, getting the grill put back in, replacing those rear springs when the Strutmaster kit comes in. I think it looks like I could do that myself and get this one cleaned up and get it to my little girl, you know, here in a week or so, and she's back for spring break. But this one, I'll tell you, I had a CL500, 97 CL500 back probably 10 years ago now, and it was a great car, but the sunroof drains got clogged up, it got wet, shorted out the modules, not pretty, so it went away. I had kind of forgotten how nice these cars are, and this AMG one really runs like a scalded dog. So I'm kind of excited to get into this one a little bit and see how it goes, and see whether it belongs as a long-term keeper. This has been my normal daily driver for when I know I've got to be able to get somewhere. It's a Lexus I've had for 10 years. It's got 150,000 miles on it. I think the only two things I've done to it outside of normal maintenance, timing belt, that kind of stuff, has been 2 oxygen sensors and tires. So I mean, it's been a great, reliable car. I can't say that that's going to be anywhere near as reliable, but a lot of the troublesome stuff, the command system, the ABC system, have been replaced with far more reliable, friendly units. So we'll see. And then of course the 560 SEL, I still have to replace the rheostat and the dash, but this one is good for kind of running around and having some fun with. And then of course I've got the this is Emily's Honda, and then I've got this here Yukon XL, which has also been a great car. Got this one at a repo auction. I think all in, I'm $2,200 into this, so it's got 141,000 miles on it. You can see it's got some clear coat burn, and I'm gonna do a little bit of test run on this one, getting it cleaned up and maybe looking a little bit more presentable before I do the paint on the 79 300D that's getting ready to go. I'll take you in and kind of walk you through that one as well. It's back on the ground. So the 300D, the brakes are done. Get some lights on in here. It's getting late. So the 300D, the brakes are done. So it's got all new brakes all the way around, all four corners, soft lines plus calipers plus pads. But you can see this one, the paint is fairly well shot. I think I've showed that in a couple other videos. You've got a couple spots like that. There's a hole up here under the battery tray. So I'm gonna finish up the mechanicals on this. It's pretty much ready to go now. Just gonna do a once over on it, make sure the brakes are good and give it a little bit of a run out and change out the final fluid. So transmission, rear diff, and then engine oil. And then once I'm kind of convinced that it's ready to go mechanically, I'll get going on the bodywork so that by mid-June, it's ready to make the 6,000 mile trek. This is summer daily, or quasi-daily, 323 CI with about 54,000 miles on it and 5-speed. And then you can see the 240 cleaned up really nice. Got a little paint correction done on it, and it looks like I don't want to say it looks like a new car because, you know, it's still got a fair bit of patina. But this paint came back just gorgeous. The car looks great. It's got a couple little spots like right there, but we're gonna leave those because that's real patina. It's original paint on this car. I don't want to screw with that. Again, kind of got into it. There's no rust through anywhere. I mean, this is just one good solid rig. So the 300D is probably a little bit better mechanically. It's been refreshed recently, but this one here, you can see we got the interior has all been kind of cleaned up as well and detailed out. The folks over at Cascade Auto Detail in Burlington, Washington have done amazing things with some of my cars, this one included. So you can see this is just a good, nice, clean 240D. This one, don't know if this one's going to be sticking around, just because I'm running out of space. And I enjoy driving the 300D a bit more, but I do want to get this one kind of set to where the valves have been adjusted, which needs to be done, and see if that kind of gives it enough pep in its step to make it usable as a occasional driver. Right now, if I'm going to drive it, you know, people have said they're unsafe and you can't drive them around, and you know, that's not necessarily the case. You just need to be thinking ahead before you pull out in traffic or you try anything outside the realm of reason. So this has been, you know, I think this car is perfectly fine. It gets down the highway at 60, 65 miles an hour okay. It looks good. It's solid. You know, no issues. So there's a quick fleet update. Like I said, I'll keep you posted on the BMW X5 as we get that ready to gift over to Alex for her birthday. And then the CLK55, see if there's anything strange wrong with that. And finally, keep you up to speed on the 300D as it gets ready for the spring adventure. And then I may take you through with me on the 500 SEL as we replace the rheostat.